Hey, Dimitri. Thank you so much for the Peacekeeper drone update. We are now taking a look at the very first animation frames. How about I just flip us over? We'll take a look at it. Here we go. All right, so you can feast your eyes on this little bugger. Like, I've got feedback, but I thought I'd just let you drink it in for a minute. So I appreciate some of the thinking here, of course. I took the opportunity to put this in the engine. Not sure why you didn't check this one in, but it's all good. So here we go. Who's got all the cool animations? Oh, I forgot. I'm working on the new upgrade system. Ah, interesting. Oh boy, get out of here. But anyways, we can take a look at it. Obviously, I kind of went with a 2x speed in terms of the animation frames. All right, so how about I work on the feedback? Maybe this will work. Just do it like this. There we go. I don't think we need to go frame by frame for the feedback. So, so the motion of the drone wings, right? They're not quite working for me. I think we've kind of got this oscillation thing going on. And I get why you want to do that because you're trying to save on the frames. But honestly, I think what we need to do is we need to have, and maybe I actually need to do it this way. So 1 second, Reno. Let me open this guy up. Because sometimes you can't draw what you want to animate. So, all right. Yeah, these guys are gonna be pretty cool though. There's so many things I do like about it. All right. So, yeah, I think you're gonna maybe hate it a little bit. We'll see. Doesn't really matter. We're working on it, right? So, basically, and I'll just take one of these wings for the illustration points. Hello, lasso. It's a lasso, Leo. That reminds me, we also need to punch the glows. Gotta punch up the glows and finish the graphics on level 3. So, what I am thinking, right, is from the base position that they need to how do I describe this? So they need to rotate forward. Maybe that's probably the way to look at it, right? So they need to rotate around the this axis. So they need to rotate around, I think, this axis, right? So so that means that in my mind, the pivot point is the center, and then what we need to do is we need at least. I mean, I think we could probably do it in 4 frames, but I think we need 4. We need basically the starting frame. We need the 2 rotation frames, and they kind of rotate again on that axis, right? And then we come back to the neutral point. And, if it turns out we don't have enough frames to really sell it, I think we can, then we can revisit what that looks like. So that's one piece of feedback is, I know it's extra work to draw the frames, but it really is an important part of the character. They take up a lot of screen real estate. And I think the current version we have doesn't quite sell the motion in the way that I was envisioning it. So a couple other bits of feedback coming back to this here, though, is... So we have this this bouncing where the whole machine is coming down, and let's remove that bounce from the torso. And I know you're trying to sell sort of like the wings kind of coming down, and that's kind of creating this this momentum or this kind of weight with it. But I think it distracts me from what I'm kind of focused on. So what I'm really thinking about, so we remove that bounce. And then we have, let's see here, what is this? There we go. And so now that we've removed that bounce from here, which would be great, I think then I like the way that the tail, the stinger, is rocking forward. And I think we can still keep that. So, but that most of all of that motion is conveyed basically just through this area, right? That's why we kind of got that soft material and the spongy bits, right? So there's that aspect of that. So, so that's the other piece there. I think we can be, it's more subtle, but I think we can be a little bit more creative with the sparky bits. So maybe have the arcs, have them arc through, or at least 1, 2, and then 3, 4 kind of thing. Maybe it's like you got the outer ones and then the 3 of them here. But I just think we can be a tiny bit more interesting with the pattern there. Also, I feel like, I think the other one is that with the tail stinger, I think we could just have on the thrust forward frame, maybe 1 or 2 frames, the electricity. So it also, it's a minor detail, but catches the eye. So that's one piece there. That part is there. Okay. So now on the inner wings. So the inner wings, I get what you're trying to do with the, I think, the rotating, that it's rotating so fast from a propeller, a blade perspective that it kind of creates these visual trails. But I think it doesn't quite work for me in that it kind of washes out a chunk of like this really cool design language that we created with the inner fans themselves. So I'd love to see a version where we have the fans, and again, if we need 8 frames for the spin, that's fine. But they should be rotating. And I know they could rotate faster. And I think we can create a little bit of blur. I think that the whole thing being blurred is throwing me off. So we need to think about, and maybe it's the circles, maybe that's it. Maybe it's that, maybe that it's, I don't know. I don't need to necessarily go through the logic side of that. So I know why we have the trails, right? The kind of circular bits, but I'd like to see if we can keep the shape of the inner fan. Just give me a version of the inner fan with it rotating, and then we can figure out how to then, now that we've come back to that shape on the inside, because it's such a huge part of what that looks like. And honestly, it may turn out that we don't need to rotate these super quickly, because we're going to have the wings rotating backwards and forwards anyways. So it might turn out it's fine just to have a couple rotations in there, and that, and then we can selectively create maybe a lighter blur trails for what this looks like. So in a lot of ways, even though we have these inner fans, it could just be that these wind up being thrusters, and then we get a lot more mileage out of just animating the blue and the red blinky bits. So there's that aspect. Let me come back to where we're at here. Okay. All right. So we had that version that Chris did. So okay. So there's another piece of feedback here is the we need big outer glows, right? That's the these things should be pulsing, bright glows, right? So that's something we need to bring back in that space as well. And then coming back to where Chris was, because I really liked what she did with one of those. All right. Okay, was it this one or was it this one? Okay, that one was a little crazier. Where's this one? Yeah, okay. So something I think Chris really caught well is this in the tail section, right? This kind of reinforces that, like the cop cars pulling you over and then seeing their lights in the rearview mirror, right? And also I think that we had some stronger blinky bits kind of in the front area, right? So I think we definitely need to bring this back. I really like those kind of electric lines, but I think she captured the essence of the whole thing is chasing you, and here's the light show beyond just these larger wing lights that kind of reinforce just the character of the Peacekeeper drone itself. So let's definitely bring that back. And then was there anything else? Yeah, so we're missing those pieces, which is totally good. I feel like it's a detail here, but I feel like we kind of have just this light in the front. It almost feels like a rotation piece, and maybe just, again, a brighter glow might be a nice piece of that. So And we do have a little blinky bit there, which is nice. Yeah, but I think look, this is all once we remove the I think this is all good. So it's very encouraging. I mean, look, this is our very first like our first go at this particular animation, right? So but also once we do the wings, because these arms won't be moving, that will give us the opportunity to create a little bit of like nanite visual noise, you know, something similar to this maybe. That's just, you know, and maybe it's just it pulses through the structure, right? I know these are small details, bear with me. But keep in mind too, right? Like one of the things that we do is that even though it may turn out that it's just a lot of noise in the game because of the speed you're moving at and whatnot, right? Oops. Tooch, tooch, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. There we go. Yeah, I think that, you know, I mean, these guys stack. We'll see. Like, they also might be bigger. I think that I might have them at 2x size. I got to take a look at that. What is this sheet size? So it's a 512, 512. Okay, so they are 256 by 256. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. So I think that even though they are, you know, they're going to be in their orbs and their swarm bits, I think there's going to be plenty that will read. I think with the shape and then the conveyance as well. But back to the last point too, right? Is one of the things that I love doing. It's just so stupid silly, but I love it. Is the fact that we always have our GIFs for you know, our just sharing the game wider, right? And we do it for our own illustrative purposes as well, right? So, but you know, just one of my favorite little silly things is I have my little drawer of like Interstellar Sentinel stickers. And so while it may not always be some of the details that we do are exclusive to what's in game, obviously they'll be there. These do show up in other forms and other levels of detail that then can be appreciated. So just, you know, like I kind of keep the direction in mind that we're serving multiple aspects for our, you know, for our animation. So super happy. Thank you so much for the revision. I will get this video out to you and we'll see you all next time.